There. We should be good. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Quest 18 podcast. I am one of your hosts, Allan, joined by Earl and Jake. As for this week, it will be, of course, a Lakers weekend recap. We'll be talking about the Lakers 2-2 weekend. We'll be talking about Mr. Dan Hurley getting a little bit of his karma, being eliminated by the Florida Gators. Shout out to Florida. And, of course, talk about Rui Hachimura. And we'll talk about a lot of just discourse in this. How can the Lakers just move on and improve from last night's loss versus the Bulls? And yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited for this week's episode. Can y'all hear me? All right, yeah, I'm excited for this week's episode. Obviously, I know it's a more of a realistic conversation because it wasn't the best. I feel like offensive week, not even defense. I think we played terrible last night, which we'll talk about. But overall, I'm excited. Not really gonna overact too much. Speaking of March Madness, shout out to my Duke Blue Devils. Had another great win tonight, and shout out to Tyrese Proctor, man. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Last year, he was pretty much the reason why we lost. So to see him have two good back-to-back games to start off March Madness, it was pretty cool to watch. So shout out to Tyrese Proctor. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about Lakers today. I'm excited.
I'm here. I'm in the car. Circumstances arose. I'll be in the car in the next few minutes because it's something I had to do. I still got my Lakers hat. Probably going to turn the camera off for a little since I'm mid-driving. Good to see you guys. I'm excited
You too,
for this podcast. The Lakers are interesting right now. I guess I'm feeling a little more negative when we get to like the tier list because last night sucked. Josh Giddey S tier apparently this week. Kobe White S tier. A lot of S tiers on the other team, but not ours. So we'll see. But yeah, interesting week for the Lakers. Hopefully, now that everyone is back and healthy, this next week will be a lot better.
sure indeed. And of course, needs to tie into the first topic. At least to get out of the way. Dan Hurley was eliminated by the Florida Gators. Like I said, going back to at least the summer, Dan Hurley was offered a nearly, was it like a 6 year, nearly $70 million deal. He did turn down and to pursue, or even go back to report, chase his third straight title, which of course he did not. And of course, Laker fans are just piling in and going around making fun of Dan Hurley. And of course, shout to the 60 Minutes. How was it? How Dan Hurley and family turned down the Lakers. So it's just like, we guys thoughts on that, and just like moving on forward from this whole fiasco we had during the summer.
Yeah, for me, like, okay, we had like a short conversation about this. Like, Dan Hurley, like, after it happened and he was like, okay, I don't want to be a Laker. I don't like I don't want to be a part of that right now. I was like, whatever. Was I a little salty at first? Sure. I mean, it's Dan Hurley. Who didn't want Dan Hurley at the time when he was available? But he just started going on like a media tour. Like, he started doing these interviews, answering these questions, talking about the Lakers, blah, 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 and how he just valued like UConn more. And like, that's cool. But I feel like he just talked about us way too much, like casually in the media. But as far as him losing, I mean, he lost the number one seed. I mean, it is what it is. So he's going home. I know he's not gonna get a chance to three-peat. But my thing about Dan Hurley, like, I seen that one video. I don't know if y'all seen it going around on X about him complaining about like calls and stuff like that. But dog, y'all continue to let them score that 3-point ball. They had every chance to win that game, and they just didn't. They weren't getting rebounds, and they weren't hitting shots down the stretch. I think they were. It was a crazy. I don't know what the exact number was from three, but it was horrible. So the fact he kind of tried to blame the refs, I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah, I had every opportunity to win that game regardless. But it is what it is, bro. That's why three-pitting in any sport is hard. So we move on. Dan Hurley, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Lakers, we move.
Yeah, I thought it was really lame how he acted about the refs, and I know I said on Twitter that it was childish. I haven't seen, in my opinion, like Tom Izzo, Calipari, Coach K, Roy Williams, all the other greats, who he's gonna get compared to now. Rick Pitino is crazy, but still, like, I mean, do they really complain about the refs to that matter? Do they really? I mean, I know Earl didn't want to say it because he's a good guy, but I'll say it. He was like, I hope they fuck Baylor. I hope you better hope they don't like fuck you the way they fucked us about the refs, whatever it was, something like that. Like, just sad, man. Like, grown man talking like this. I mean, he's very emotive would be the word, like, for better or worse, and I think he's a bit of a sore loser. I will say, to not be too repetitive, because Earl gave you the rundown. You guys, the Lakers fans who watch this later, will know the history. Like, of course, we would be wrong to say that Lakers aren't salty because he turned us down. But also, like, he made a huge mistake. Clearly, that's the other side. Like, again, I'm thrilled with JJ Redick. I will say, to Earl's point also, because we talked about this for a second the other day, like, we haven't brought up Dan Hurley one time. We do this podcast every week. We do games every game we do on this channel right here. We don't bring up Dan Hurley. Like, so it's fine to do it now, especially because they got eliminated. He talked about wanting to get the three-peat, all that. But it's not something we regularly talk about because I think we're all thrilled with JJ Redick. When we get to the tier list, he's normally like S or A. I don't know what it'll be this week. It was a little rocky, but JJ is one of the best coaches in the NBA as a rookie coach. We got Luka Doncic at the trade deadline. Dare I say, for free. I know it sounds crazy to say for free, but it is. If you get Luka like that, you know, with an injured older AD, no offense, we love AD. Max Christie would be like the one thing, and it's like, but it's Luka, right? Point is, like, Dan Hurley would have actually been in the ideal situation, and he didn't see that, and I guess he didn't see the vision. No one knew about the Luka trade, so I get that side. It would have been different with Braun and AD. Maybe we'd be like a 7 seed, you know, kind of fringe playoff team. I do get that also. But, like, he would have been in an ideal situation for as long as Luka is going to be a Laker, which could be like 10 years. So it's like, looking back at it, it's like he made completely the wrong decision. I love college basketball and respect it. He's never going to be anything again. I don't think they're going to win for a long time. Of course, he could stay there 20 years and they win in 15 years. I don't know. But I don't think he's ever going to be anything again. I think a great run with 2 super teams at UConn, frankly. Like, literally super teams. Like, we saw it. Great coach. Not saying he's a bad coach. Great coach. This year, they had a slightly worse team. Couldn't do anything. Losing to the 1 seed in a close game is not a big deal, to be fair. Like, I'm just kind of playing both sides here. But he made a huge mistake, and JJ Redick, in my opinion, has a chance to go down in history as one of the better coaches. Definitely, like, in Lakers history, if we could win a few championships in the, you know, with Luka. So it's like, Dan Hurley missed a golden opportunity. It is what it is. I think he's, again, to play the other side, I think he's a crybaby and a sore loser, frankly. I'm not going to, like, mince words, but I'm happy that we're, like, moved on and long gone from that. I think the media tour is what, you know, put people the wrong way, or however you say it. Like, that's when it was like Lakers fans started piling on. And seeing the hate on the timeline today was kind of beautiful. It's funny because hate is such a horrible thing in the world. But then it's like when your fan base does it regarding like another team or player or coach, it's like the greatest thing ever. Shout out the Houston Rockets fans who wanted to murder me last night because we lost to the Bulls. That was nice of you guys, threatening to dox my parents' information. So other fan bases, you know, they hate on us too. It's supposed to be all fun and games, and I think that's the takeaway, even with Dan Hurley, is like, make it fun and games, but keep it about basketball, you know? So shout out UConn, a disappointing season.
Yeah, and I'll just lastly end it around, for that little tenure, of course, we thought Dan Hurley would be our savior, but he turned into a media nightmare. But we ultimately found our I'm gonna say saver, but we found our guy in JJ Redick, and hopefully from the future, from now to the next few years, he is the guy, and hopefully leads us far, where it becomes the finals, the championship, and whatever he coaches his team to be. Whether it be with LeBron James or, of course, when he's, of course, does retire or pass on. We do have Luka, and like I said, the future is bright for Los Angeles. Speaking of future, of course, the Lakers, it's not looking good right now. Like I said, it's a 2-2 week. They did have some great wins versus the Spurs and versus the Denver Nuggets, but we did suffer 2 blowout losses versus Milwaukee, which of course we had a plethora of injuries for that one. But versus the Bulls was a really disaster game. I was just like at least timeline shocked, and to see our team not compete defensively, I think that was my at least takeaway from that game. So, if you guys, what was your overall thoughts about the entire week?
Yeah, I guess since it's fresh in my mind, I'll start with the Bulls game. It was just like just imagine literally the worst way we can play basketball with this team. I think we did it last night. On a night where we had a lot of people coming back as LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, who've been out for multiple weeks, and then of course Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves missing last game, coming into this game with fresh bodies. I mean, it's supposed to be an exciting night. It's supposed to be one of those nights where, okay, you figure things out, you find your rhythm back, and you win. Like, and first of all, I don't want to discredit anything the Bulls have done because I feel like for the most part, after that trade, they're in a good place. I think Kaden was saying that. I think Jake was saying that again last night. Like, they're in a good place for the future. But still, like, if we want championship aspirations, like, we have to take care of games like this. We dared, like, it don't, dare I say, it almost felt like, and I don't want to insult JJ Redick or anything like that too much, but it felt like Darvin Ham. Like, I literally watched them give up practice 3-point shots to everybody on that roster. It wasn't like a situation like where it's like, okay, we're gonna just pick this guy to be our shooter. We're gonna pick him to shoot. He doesn't shoot great from 3-point line. No, it was Kobe White. It was who was it? Buzeles. It was I don't know what the other dude's name. No disrespect. He hit a couple threes as
Kevin
well.
Herter, like
Kevin
things that Josh
Herter.
Giddey and Jake mentioned.
Yep, Josh Giddey. And who's the other guy with the braids, Allan? You know who I'm talking about? Not
Patrick
Patrick,
Williams.
not
No,
Patrick
Patrick.
Williams, but the other guy. I think he hit like 1 or 2 threes. I forget, or maybe he didn't have braids. I forget. But yeah, like it was just like we didn't guard the 3-point line, and then our interior defense was horrible. Guys were getting blown down. Like, look, I try to be as positive as I can on this platform. That's kind of just what I built myself to be. But there's a difference between being positive and realistic. And last night, Luka Doncic did not show any effort on defense at all. And I've been praising his defense recently. I think it's been great. Deflections, steals, staying in front of people. I think overall, since he's been a Laker, he's been good at that. But last night, he played lazy on the defensive end, and he played good on the offensive end. You can't do that. To win a championship, you have to show. I'm not saying you have to go out there and be an elite defender, but you cannot just let people walk past you. And it's a different, like we talked about this with Don't Connect. Don't Connect has been better, in my opinion, defensively because of effort. Like, I know people like, oh, effort doesn't matter, whatever. We had a conversation about that before, but it literally does. Like, if I see Don't Connect trying to stand in front of his man, getting occasional stop here or there, that's better than him giving up on a play, letting somebody just drive past him to the paint or giving up an open three. Like, that's literally levels above that. Austin Reeves isn't a great defender, but he's okay at times because he shows effort on both ends. And last night, there was no effort, bro. None. Zero from anybody. I think Vando played horrible. DFS, 5 fouls. I think he had like 4 in the third quarter, 3 in the first, I think, or something crazy like that. He picked up on foul trouble early in a night where we needed wings. None of our wings were playing good at all. Other than that, I mean, the only person who tried to play a little defense in the interior was Jackson Hayes. If I'm mistaken, that's literally all I can remember. The only person playing good interior defense was Jackson. And when he goes off the court, we go small ball because the centers on our team are just not good enough to be played. So I think last night was a disaster. For me, I think it's more like don't take these habits with you. Like, I'm okay with this. I think we talked about it. Like, I'm not going to live or die off of one game. But if this becomes a habit, if you take this as a game and you create habits off of it, it could be horrible for us. So I'll leave it at that, pass it to Jake. But overall, last night was horrible, no effort. But I am glad that Rui and LeBron are healthy again, and hopefully next game versus the Magic can be better.
Yeah, I'm happy they're healthy again too. I think Earl hit it on the head with all that effort stuff he was talking about, especially like defensively and why that matters. I just thought it was a disaster. For me, it was the worst loss of the season. People point to Utah. We lost the second Utah game. We lost a Hornets game. We got blown out in a Heat game. We lost to the Spencer Dinwiddie Mavericks. And my point with saying that is I honestly think it was worse than all those. I don't know why people were saying the Hornets game was worse. I didn't see that with my own eyeballs. It wasn't a good game at all. It was a bad loss. At least it was competitive. But again, the reason I say all those is because it is becoming a habit. Oh, Brooklyn Nets too, another really bad loss recently. And it's like, look, like we're actually very good against good teams, but we're bad against bad teams. And you do have to put it all together. Like you gotta be good against both. It hasn't been like that. It's starting to become a pattern. And frankly, it's concerning. Now, if we get to the playoffs and we face like a Grizzlies or Clippers or Wolves or whoever, like I'm going to be feeling good about that, especially Luka and LeBron in the playoffs, even Reeves in the playoffs, everything. But against these bad teams, the lack of effort is concerning, and it's starting to like pile up, and that's why it kind of sucks. The other thing is like just the week overall that Allan was talking about. It's just shaky, man. Like it's very hard to evaluate the team. My service is going to cut out here in a second. I know it. So I'll pass it back to you guys.
Yeah, I put down a chat how the Bulls are 11th in 3-point percentage. They make the third most threes and they're second in attempts. And it just kind of figured out how JJ wasn't prepared for that. And of course, said the injuries and of course players coming in, JJ has to adjust to that. But at the same time, it's like if you're a head coach, you should be prepared for that statistic and how ultimately statistic end up kicking our ass. So it's insane a little bit.
Like the two other things I was going to say, Allan, sorry about that. I knew my service cuts out right by my house in one area. The two other things. Number one, especially with college basketball on, Florida beat UConn today. Head coach of the Bulls, Billy Donovan, is one of the best coaches in basketball. And people forget that because he's been handed literally like the worst rosters year after year after year after year after year. And it goes on. Like but there's a reason the coach never got fired too, right? Like Billy Donovan is one of the best coaches in basketball. He had 2 championships at least with Florida. I think it was back to back. I think like Joakim Noah, Al Horford, people like that were on the team. That's one factor here. Is like we don't say this a lot. I thought JJ got out coached, but it's like a lot of their shots were wide open too. So I don't know what you expect. And then to play devil's advocate for Lakers fans, my last thing. It was the fakest game from the Bulls. And so multiple things can be true at once. Like Lakers don't deserve to win, definitely. They deserve to get blown out, no effort, with all you guys on that. But I think the other side of it is also true. Montas Buzelis is a great rookie. That was the most points he's ever scored. He's never had 30. Josh Giddey had a stat line that's never happened in NBA history. Literally a 1-of-1 stat line last night. I think it was because he got over 15 assists and points. Obviously 10 rebounds, 8 steals. It's never been done like that. He almost had a quadruple double. Dalen Terry is fucking horrible at basketball. No offense. I liked him in the draft too. I liked him at Arizona. He's god awful. He never developed. He sucks. Kobe White, not a fake game. I'll be honest. Kobe White is legit. But like a lot of them had the fakest games I've ever seen. And if you're not prepared and the other team's shooting like that, like obviously you're screwed in just one singular game. Now, obviously, if we play them in a series, we make adjustments and we're fine. Maybe we lose one game. Maybe we win the series in 5. Worst case, 6. We got someone like that. But that wasn't the reality. It was just one game. Now, we do play the Bulls next week, or this week, I should say. I think it was Thursday. Again, and it should be in Chicago. So we'll see what happens then, and if we can make adjustments, I think we'll be fine. I just wanted to bring up that point, like not complaining, but the other team had an absurd amount of fake statistics and level of play was fake. I know a couple Bulls fans from my school at Michigan, a lot of Chicago kids there. They know how bad the Bulls are. Trust me. They would be shocked at last night's outcome. And they're realistic about it. And it's like any team can beat any team in the NBA, and I did think we were underestimating them, but it was one of the faker games I've ever seen from a single team. Mark's question, Earl and I can both answer. Are you guys concerned with the chemistry with the big three? They've had only had a good game simultaneously once. No, not at all. They get along so well on and off the court. Like, if we're talking chemistry, we're set with those three. But what's the chemistry when DFS or Vando comes in? Is there chemistry? I don't know. There's chemistry with Jackson Hayes. Is there chemistry with Gabe Vincent? He's definitely made some difficult shots recently, but is there good chemistry? I don't know. For me, obviously the LeBron game sucked, and the Nuggets game, we saw their chemistry. Again, that's one game, but it's a great example. For me, it's the Jared Vanderbilt, the Dorian Finney-Smith, the Gabe Vincent problem is what's happening here. Like, I'm not going to include Rui in that. He's been great. Plus, he was injured. Jackson Hayes been great. It's those other guys. It's like the rest of the rotation. Like, do we really trust you guys? Like, are you guys really giving us something consistently? It's just something to think about because there'll be like one good DFS game and then 6 bad ones, and it's kind of odd. Jared Vanderbilt has been horrible since the Luka Doncic trade. We talked about it last night on PlayoffLAL. He was so great coming back from injury. It put life into the team as we expected. He's been horrible since the Knicks game and the Luka Doncic trade that was that night. Like, I don't even understand what Vando's doing. He's not even an elite defender, Chris, a lot of the time just recently. He's supposed to be an elite defender. He hasn't been. Dorian Finney-Smith, kind of same thing. Neither of them do anything on offense. Dorian Finney-Smith gets wide open, but he only has one good shooting game out of every 10 games. Like, I don't know what we're doing here when those two are supposed to be like very, very key to success and they don't show up. It sucks. Austin, LeBron, and Luka should be able to overcome that, but still, when you actually play a good team, they can't. Every player needs to be locked in. So hopefully those guys get some sort of rhythm here in the last little stretch of like 12, 13 games, whatever it is. And then we go into the playoffs like trusting all these role players, because I think a lot of people would agree it's got to the point where it's like Jordan Goodwin has limitations, but I trust Jordan Goodwin so much when he's on the court to do some things that are going to help us win that game. And I guess you could just say make winning plays. So what is Vando doing for me like that? Nothing recently. So hopefully that turns around.
Yeah, I agree with like a lot of what you said. And I'll start with that question about, are you concerned with the chemistry thing? Big three chemistry? No. And I think the best example we can give is the win streak. Like even when LeBron James, Luka, or Reeves haven't all played great offensively together, it hasn't affected our winning. It hasn't affected culture. It hasn't affected anybody's attitudes on and off the court. Like for the most part, everybody's been kind of together. Like you see it on a night in, night out basis. So for me, I think I'm good on that. Like, would I like to see them all going off more on a day-to-day basis? Of course. I think that's the dream situation. But as long as I have 2 of them at least going off in the game, I'm confident that we can win. I'm more on like Jake's side with the role players. Like, consistency is everything to me. Like, I agree. Like the Vando thing, the DFS thing, the Gabe thing. Like, we see these flashes. Like, okay, oh dang, Vando had a great defensive game here, or Vando hit 2 corner threes. So we see he's capable of doing things like this, but on a consistent basis, no. DFS, he's supposed to be our catch and shoot wing guy, guarding the 1 through 4 reported. Yeah, some games he'll be good defensively, but he can't hit anything, and he's the most open guy on butt naked open guy on the court, as he says, but he's not hitting shots. And for us, like, we need that. We need when Luka gets blitzed, because he does almost every game. There's got to be someone else open to take the pressure off of him on the defensive end. And most of the time it's DFS. And if you're not hitting those shots, they're gonna keep doing it. Oh, Luka has all these turnovers. Yeah, because he's getting blitzed at half court, full court at times. So yeah, he's gonna get turnovers if other guys on our team aren't doing their job. So that's me. I think consistency is key. I mean, we can use the example for everybody on the bench. I mean, Gabe Vincent, we see Miami Gabe where he can go out there and hit 4 or 5 threes, play defense. Then we see some nights where he's wide open. Was it Bucks or Celtics? I forget which game it is. I think he had like 3 shots in a row, missed them all. I think it was on one, literally a singular possession. And it was like the start of the game. He started the game like 0 for 5. Like we could have had like 12 something points from him, but he couldn't hit anything. Wide open. So when you bring it like that, I think my problem, I agree, it's the chemistry between the bench. Like I've seen flashes. Like I've seen DFS and Vando check in and clamp up, get stops, run fast breaks, but consistently, no. Like we're just seeing flashes. And I think as playoff comes around, it is a concern. You need those guys to show up every single night. Like there is no error. Like, there's no time to make mistakes. Like one loss in a game 1 or a game 2, that can ultimately decide a series at times. So I need those guys to lock in. Luka, Braun, Reeves, I'm not really worried about them. I don't think a lot of people should like really be worried about it, especially last night. I think I'm more mad about the loss, not really LeBron on offense. I mean, we know how Braun is when he comes back from injuries. It's literally like this every single time. Like it takes him a game or 2 to get back into rhythm, maybe even sometimes 3 games. Hopefully not this time around. But yeah, I think for me, my concerns are more so on the bench as far as their chemistry, but I think we'll figure it out. Same with Rui. I didn't really have too much pressure. I agree. He's not really in that conversation because we can bring it back to the tier list for Rui. Like we know Rui Hachimura, if he's going to get his minutes, he's going to score. He's a consistent scorer for us. He has been. Even before the injury, he was giving us 10 plus points a game. Really, I can even round it up to almost like 15 at times. So shout out to Rui. I think he's going to be good. Give him a couple games. And I think as he gets more healthy, I think he'll get that starting spot back. But I just didn't think it made sense to start him when he's only going to play like 20 minutes a game. So yeah, I think we're good on that.
And also like the question in the chat, like from Chris, or not question, sorry, but the Luka bad in the second half thing, like was he? Because for me, like it's a AD thing of like why did we stop giving the ball to that player in the second half? And I think LeBron was trying to find his rhythm, and maybe Austin was definitely like people like Gabe want to get some threes up, DFS, all that. Vando, I don't even know what he's doing out there. As mentioned, it's not logical. But like I didn't see Luka take a lot of shots. And like if he did and he missed 1 or 2, it's like, what do you expect when now you have no rhythm? So it's like at the start of the games, it's like all Luka and he has all the rhythm, and that's great. And that could vary people. But in a game like last night where it didn't, it's like I almost, if I'm JJ at like the earliest timeout in the third, I'm like, let's go back to running everything through Luka. And I felt like that was how we messed up with AD, with Darvin Ham last year. Of like, why does AD have 5 points in every second half? Well, he only took 2 shots. So that's my thing with Luka. Like he's not a bad second half player or anything. To get 70 something in the game, you have to have a crazy second half too, right? To get 50 like he has, you have to have a crazy second half too. So he does it, but are we giving him the ball? Are we running shit through him? Are we putting him in the best position? Like last night we didn't. And I felt like even with all the errors of last night, and obviously the lead got out to like 17, 18, and it was kind of over. Like, what if we just ran everything through Luka in the second half and it worked and he had 50 plus points and we snuck out of there with a win? Like, that's a component of this to me, is they didn't really give Luka a fair chance in the second half, I thought.
Yeah, of course, for those who welcome or have entered the chat, like I said, feel free to drop any questions around, of course, the Lakers or anything surrounding around the NBA. We'll, of course, answer them. We'll always give it to our host now. Any topics that you guys want to discuss?
Honestly, I just don't want like a wild card one. I know it's March Madness. Is there any like player, second round, I'll say, that you guys have had your eyes on? I know Kaden mentioned a couple of centers and stuff he's been watching throughout the tournament, but anybody catching your eyes as far as like potential, like I don't want to say like falling in the draft, but like guys that we potentially could get even if we traded up a little bit?
Yeah, my thing is like the Lakers are masters at trading up. Still remember where I was when we traded up with the Magic on draft night and drafted Max Christie. And I know that sounds odd, but I love all that draft stuff. And I think like if we have the 55th pick, like I know Kaden and some other people have said like, oh, it'll be used in a trade, but like I don't see it like that. Cause like what trade are you making before draft night? Like after the finals, before mid-June? What trade are you making where you have to throw in the 55th pick? All you do is either on draft night, you take that on the second day of the draft, I should even say, you take that pick and they announce it almost live. And it's like you just handed it to another team, maybe a tanking team for money, or you take that 55th pick and just trade up to 40 or 35. And see what you can get. And then the obvious thing, like, I don't know if there's a specific player that stood out to me. I haven't scouted it like I did last year. Last year, I wanted Khalil Ware. I wanted Dayron Holmes, the second or third, whatever he is, a little bit. We talked about that on this podcast, which is great that we're starting to get there. I wanted kind of Yves Missi. It was all about the center, right? Like, let's get a center that way, which, by the way, is genius. Like, I understand Rob had to take Connect, so I'm not going to complain about Connect. But also, given like that sort of weird circumstance doesn't happen, like, why are more people not trying to find their center, or should I say, like, backup center in the draft? Like, did you not see what happened when the Mavs tanked, kept their pick, missed the playoffs, and drafted Derek Lively? Did we not see Yves Missi this year for the Pelicans or Khalil Ware for the Heat? Why are we not trying to get our centers in the draft where it's cheaper and free? It doesn't cost you a trade and it doesn't cost you limited free agent money that we have. Now, when you look at like right here, okay, I'll be honest, this draft is freaking stacked, dude. Look at the names at the bottom. Mohamed Diarra, I've seen him in first round mocks to start the year. Kobe Brea has been well known for years. Vlad Golden on Michigan is a beast. He's 7-1. Mark Sears at Alabama. Caleb Love is apparently going 60. He's been in college forever, but he's been legit at times. Like, it's a stacked draft. But Allan, I'll ask you to do me a little favor and go away from 56. Go up to the top of the second round. 35, 40 range. Thank you. This is what we do, okay? It's still so blurry right now. For some reason, I could barely see it.
All right, it's coming in.
Yeah, it's coming in a little. This is the best example. You get pick 38, you get pick 36, Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7'1", 200, what is that, 70-pound center, Creighton. There you go.
Yep.
That's the best example. Get yourself a free backup center. Now, let's say you go in free agency, or not free agency. You go to the summer, you trade for Claxton. And then you have like Claxton, Hayes, and you drafted Ryan Kalkbrenner. You got him for free. He's 7'1". He's a demon, for lack of a better word. Like, now you have a center rotation. And if you get mad at Jackson Hayes, okay, here's our rookie. Yes, he's a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes, but you know, he's nice, right? So what I think is like, it's been enough years of not taking centers when the biggest need on the team is center. So you went Jalen Hood-Schifino for God knows what reason. I mean, Rob was again, I've said it on here, Rob was at the Big Ten tournament. He got distracted. Michigan man, Rob Pelinka, got distracted. Then you had to take Connect. No complaints. Ware was off the board. Edie was off the board. Missi was still on the board, but you had to take Connect. Okay, this time, stop all these games. Get yourself in this range that Ryan Kalkbrenner's in. Everyone has such a wrong misunderstanding of the Lakers in the draft. The Lakers aren't bad at the draft. They don't try to trade every pick to appease LeBron. That's what everyone's thought every year. We're going to trade that 17th pick. No, they drafted They draft with every pick they have. They've made trades where they lost first. Dennis Schroeder for a first to the Thunder, I want to say. Obviously, the AD trade, stuff like that. You just want to get off Westbrook in 27. But like the Lakers use their picks. So instead of talking about who are the Lakers going to get at 55, it's really like, are the Lakers going to trade up to 38 and get Kalkbrenner or a different center there? There's a Stanford center who I'm not sure if we saw him on this list. He's like 7'1", 7'2". He shoots threes. He's kind of a demon too. Like, this is a stacked draft. Why do you draft in the second round? It's because these guys cost nothing. This is free for you. Trading up is free for you. It doesn't count against the salary cap when you trade up and give the Nets $1 million plus 55th pick for the 38th pick, right? This is free. This is easy. This is the way to go to get depth. Stop sleeping on the second round. There's second round gems every year in this day and age. It's different than it used to be. It's not one Manu Ginobili. It's not one Isaiah Thomas. It's not one Nikola Jokic. There's going to be 5 to 10 guys. If you trust your scouting department, especially in the 30s, like Max Christie range, or even in the 40s, Maxwell Lewis fell all the way down. I know he didn't work out, but still. If you trust your scouting department like we do, let them make a pick here who can help you and have at least one. You're only going to have one rookie on the team. The undrafted guys aren't going to have official roster spots. You're going to have one rookie on the team. Make it a 7'1" center. Just try it. Trust me. It's going to work out. That's what I do. The first thing I do in the draft, if I'm the Lakers, I trade up to literally anywhere I get in the 30s for free. I attach like Shake Milton if I have to, whatever, because he's like non-guaranteed, but his contract extends, and I draft a center. That's the first thing I do. Everyone vote for Jamie in the poll in the chat, by the way. Jamie, I already voted for you.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, if you haven't voted, go to Playoff Celtics, shout out to Celtics Globe, and vote for Jamie JC13 on that poll for, I believe it was the Celtics, was it tournament, I believe. So yeah, vote Jamie JC13 right there. So yeah. And I always like to say this as well, like if the Lakers don't draft a center this year, I think that's an issue. Like I said, I mentioned as like I said, we gave him some leeway. I said, hey, maybe we can find a veteran, but it's like the veteran market is slowly trimming down. And of course, like I said, we did trade for Mark Williams this mid-season, but of course the Lakers decided not to. So if they didn't trust that Mark Williams, they should go find a young rookie in the draft who they believe is their guy and someone they can build towards the future. And as Jake mentioned, maybe Ryan Kalkbrenner, Kaden could be somebody. Shout out from UCLA, Tyler Bilodeau. I think he'd be a solid undrafted guy. He's maybe like 6'10", power forward. Maybe we could put him at the stretch at the center position. He's not the best defender, I'll say that, but I think he would work well as a pick and pop forward next to Luka Doncic. So yeah, it's just all about finding the right players, but the big man should be the main priority heading to this summer / NBA free agencies and draft.
But the main point you said, Allan, just last thing, like you just said, if the Lakers don't draft a center, they're kind of screwed on the center. And I think it's such a good point. Like no one talks about that. Trevor Lane didn't say that on his thing. Maybe he will later. I don't know. But these are free 7-footers coming into the market if you view it that way. If you go to free agency, you cannot pay Miles Turner $30 million a year, who's a free agent. He may even be restricted. I don't know. Listen, you're getting a 38-year-old wash center in free agency, realistically. And if you don't make the Mark Williams trade and you're desperate to trade for a center, you probably trade for like Val, like something like that. So you're getting these really old, unathletic centers. Now, if you're in a draft and there's athletic 7-footers for free, you do that. Lakers are normally smart with their second-round picks. They don't even count against like one of the caps that's in the NBA. Like their salary doesn't even count. Or like you can do it non-guaranteed. You can stretch it out. There's like this weird one where you stretch it out and it's like a 1 year guaranteed and 3 non-guaranteed, like a Shake Milton type deal. Like the shit doesn't even count. So like draft the best center you can get. And yeah, like to Chris's point, they drafted Zubac in 2016 in the second round. Like the Lakers scouting department is, dare I say, still elite. In my personal opinion, think Rob Pelinka overruled them to pick JHS from the Big Ten tournament that he talked about. As I said before, I think besides that, the Lakers scouting department is like very elite, like one of the best in the league. Like that's one of the things when everything else sucked, that's what we were good at, because I know we didn't let all the guys develop, but you look back at it and it's like Clarkson in the second round, Nance in the second round, Zubac in the second round, D'Lo, kind of shaky, but like low. I mean, he was an all-star once. Brandon Ingram, Lonzo is good when he's healthy. Dalton Connect, obviously huge steal at that pick. Max Christie, 30-something. Maxwell Lewis at 44, whatever it was a steal at the time. Like the scouting department is legit. So like do something about it. When this is free, go get a center and stop messing it up. Yeah, Lonzo and D'Lo were obvious picks. Whatever happened with their career, they were obvious picks. The Lakers haven't really missed a lot of picks at all. I think Rob, again, overruled the scouting department. I read an article about that for JHS. They wanted someone else. I think they wanted someone way better, like Cam Whitmore or something, Jaime Jaquez. But like, you go get a center. Stop with all this guard shit. Stop with this guard shit, dude. We could get a guard for nothing. If they were smarter with their assets, they could have got Tyus Jones for nothing. I know he hasn't been good, but he popped up on the market for like a damn near minimum with the Suns last summer. Like, you can get a guard. You can't get a young athletic center unless you're utilizing the draft the right way, like every other team does. And that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah, we also have a quick question from one of our subs. Shout out to Chris, Playoff Lakers Zone. He says, King Shapiro, excuse me. Sorry about that. He said, y'all think Dallas makes the playoffs with AD and their center rotation healthy, they can take OKC to 7? I'd say yes, in my opinion.
Wait, you're talking about this year? Man, no Kyrie's done for the year, right? To 7? I don't know. I have to think about that, bro. I think OKC definitely still wins that series. Like, don't get me wrong. I just think if you compare guard play from them to, I mean, what is it? J-Dub and Shea versus who? Who's the guards on the Mavericks without? Is it? I mean, Max Christie's coming off the bench now. Is what?
Dinwiddie, Hardy at times off the bench.
I mean, yeah, if healthy for sure, but like right now, I don't see it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, and I joke about OKC a lot, but I can't see that with the guard play they have. Really, just on the defensive side, I don't know how they stop them. Period. And I don't think they have enough offense from the guard side to outscore their guards either. So we'll see what happens. And then on the other side, I mean, they still have Chet. They still have Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been playing great on defense lately too. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Consistently, I don't know if it goes 7.
The AD that I know could weirdly, again, not trying to hate, kind of falter to like Hardenstein, weirdly. Like, so AD is not enough to overcome a 1 seed Thunder, bro. Because if it was the Lakers and we had LeBron and AD, you would say we're losing to the Thunder. So why are we giving the Mavs credit for having a worse team than us? I don't know. Obviously, with Kyrie, it's like, yeah, anything can happen, but that's a killer, man. I don't even think AD is gonna play like himself. And then it's like, are Gafford and Lively even gonna play like their selves? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, any question in the chat is cool. Thank you, Allan. Thanks, King Shafino.
Yeah, well, I set up the tier list. One thing I do want to know about, shout out to Mark Azell, he pointed out via his Twitter. Rui Hachimura discussed about his injury, and he talked about he's feeling around 70 to 80%, not 100% right now. Should the Lakers ease him into the starting lineup, and at least what's your view on Rui playing through injury?
Yeah, I don't even like that. I did see Mark talk about that too. Klutch 2-3, my demon on X. I would almost like not play Rui because like why are we playing like a role player, frankly, who, I mean, he's a starter, but who isn't 100%. Like, that's kind of odd to me. Like, why do we have to play him then? But like, if it's just a matter of getting back from that injury, just like ease him into it. Like, if you're gonna play him, hopefully it's like very limited minutes. Hopefully he's fine. We definitely need him for the playoffs. Everyone who's in our rotation, we need badly. Yeah, if Rui said his knee is nowhere near right, then he shouldn't even play the regular season. Like, his injury was a way bigger deal than people acted like at first, clearly. Because he missed 3 weeks, plus he says he's still at 70%. Like, I don't need to see Rui hurt before the playoffs. We need him desperately, just like we need everyone to be. We need Vando to be fantastic in the playoffs. So you can imagine how much we need Rui.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the thing is, like, we can win without Rui now. Like, these last games, we can win without him now. But in a playoff series, I almost feel like you have to have Rui, that extra scoring option, especially with, like we talked about earlier, how much Luka gets blitzed just before he even touches half court. You need Rui for those catch and shoot opportunities, and he can create for himself as well. And no offense to DFS, but I think Rui is just, I mean, I think it's just fair to say he's just a better scorer. So I'd rather have him 100% healthy in the playoffs rather than 70% in games like this. Like, I just think it's kind of silly. And honestly, I feel like a rare recent L from the Lakers Lakers medical facility right now. Because I feel like overall, I think they handled the Luka situation really good. Austin Reeves coming back, I think they handled that good. LeBron kind of waiting and making sure he's good. I feel like they did that good. But Rui rushing him back, I just don't like that. I just don't see the point. So I agree.
And in the chat, should Dalton Connect be getting playoff minutes? Yes. Because where's the rest of the scoring coming from? Like we saw in a game like last night. Yeah, he literally should have got minutes last night. I don't know what the deal was, but it's like Goodwin and Vando obviously are going to be out there. You can't like trust their scoring though. You definitely can't trust DFS scoring. Then you add in the Rui injury. You add in Luka kind of still finding his way to being elite every game. And then like LeBron's injury, it's like, yeah, dude, you need Dalton Connect. Like, I'm sorry. If he's horrible defensively after 2 minutes, you could pull him, but at least give him some chances to hit. Dalton Connect hitting 2 to 3 big threes in a playoff game will go a long way, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's just like I think he has a good risk factor. Like, okay, the worst thing can happen is DK can just play awful. Just don't, after that, just don't play him. But I think the good outweighs the bad. Like, he can go out there, he's electric. Like, he can go out there and hit one shot, and one shot can lead to 7. Like, one shot can lead to 4. Like, he's one of those rhythm players. If he's in rhythm, he can legit change a game. So for me, I think you play him. I don't think it's a question at this point. I mean, off the bench, you have Goodwin, great defender. I feel like good offensive rebounder, consistent offensive scorer. I don't think so, but that's okay. That's not what we have him here for. Gabe Vincent's been a little bit shaky offensively as far as consistency, so you need that extra kick off the bench. Like we talked about it, like when Austin Reeves went to the starting lineup, you still have to replace that production somehow. And I think DK, since he got back from the trade, I think he's been way better. I think he's matured. His game has matured on both ends, and I think he's ready to get out there.
Last question from Shafino. Is Austin Reeves a top 35 player in the league? I want to see a list to see like who's around 35. I imagine it's like Zach LaVine about 30, right? Just like for an example, I don't know. I'm going to say yes. I think on a bad team, he's well over 23 points per game at worst. I think on this team, he does a great job of helping us out, every game that he's, actually healthy. I think he's a top 35 player in the league. I kind of think that Derek White is better than Austin Reeves, but I also think that Derek White is a top 35 player, kind of in that tier. I think Reeves is right there. Like, to answer your question, maybe that's why you said it like that. I think Reeves is like right on that border of 35, worst case 40.
I'd say no, not 35. I think there's probably 35 better players. And yeah, King Trino, anytime Reeves. Oh, sorry, D face. Reeves seems to outplay him. Yeah. I'll go into the tier list for now. That's for this week. S, A, B, C, D. Injured or limited minutes. And South Bay Lakers. 4 injured or limited minutes. I put LeBron, Rui, Maxi, Markeith, and Cam. I think maybe could put Shake Milton there. And I think Len might get a tier of his own, but who knows? And yeah, whoever wants to start, feel free to start.
I changed my mind on Reeves. Sorry, last thing. I'm looking at the list just so I know. I know the Ringer doesn't have the best list. They have Zion, Kawhi 41. No, sorry. Derek White 42, Kawhi 41, Zion 40, Chet 39, Pascal Siakam 38, LaMelo 37, Sengun 36, James Harden 35, Bam 34. I mean, you get the point.
Oh yeah, he's not better than any of them.
Yeah, it's like I don't like maybe you can make an argument for like maybe one of those. I guess there's too many good players and I underestimated that. Even like Tyler Hero 44, Scotty Barnes 43, Jared Allen 46, Lauri Markkanen 48. It's like, man, I guess I was wrong. Like, sure, you can make the argument with Kawhi. I'll give you that because of the injury and how much he fell off,
but then look what was behind
50,
it.
Yeah, it's like top 50. Yeah. But like, why would I say that Reeves is better than Trey Murphy at 49? Why would I say he's better than Tyler Hero at 44? Tyler Hero was just an all-star and he does similar things to Reeves, right? Like, not just because they're white, kind of similar type of player. Like, Reeves is top 50, I'll give you, but he's about 50 now that I see it all laid out. For the tier list, get back on track. I'll start us off. Let's go in a different order than normal. Luka Doncic. Shit. Now I need to pull up this. It always happens to me on these. I'm already
goes for it. Let me think.
I'm gonna go
not S or A, but yeah.
Yeah. So he was pretty bad against the Spurs, weirdly, shooting. Actually, really bad. He was 5 of 20. Nuggets, obviously great. No Jokic or Murray. Then he was out for a game. Actually, the Suns game should count within this week too, actually. So we had 5 games this week. Bulls, I thought he was great. I don't know why people are complaining. They didn't give him the ball in the second half. For me, I would say B plus. I don't know if that's too harsh. I don't know what you guys think. I'm gonna say B plus.
Honestly, I really don't have an argument for that. I don't know. I just think, like, to Chris's point earlier too, like, I feel like some games, yes, it was his fault. Other games, it wasn't necessarily his fault, but he's been kind of on the AD trajectory as far as first half's great, second half's and some of them were touches, but some of them were just him absolutely not being able to hit shots. Like, I think it's night and day, so it's kind of hard to compare the two. So for me, I'm kind of gonna stick around the B plus range. Like, and it's crazy because people are literally gonna go look, oh my, he's averaging like 35, 10 and 8 or whatever. But like, you have to watch. We watch every single game, every minute of every game, so we know. Like, a lot of it. I mean, we had one game we had like crazy amount of free throws. Like, it's a lot of like. We know he's better, basically. So I'm sticking B plus.
And also, like, again, just we say it every time, but compared to himself, like, why would you give him an A compared to like Luka's standards?
Yes.
You guys go ahead, whichever one of you wants.
Go ahead, Allan.
Yeah, I'll go with Bronny James this week. Ooh. Now I gotta look at stats, but I feel like he's almost deserving of a B. I feel like.
I mean, I think if you're going to give Bronny a B, this is the week to give him a B, right?
Yeah.
I'll check again.
An unwatchable game. He at least got us to watch 3/4 of it. I'll say that.
Putting Bronny and Luka in the same tier is so fucked to the casual TikTok watcher. What is wrong with you guys? You guys don't know basketball.
I can see the
But-
mentions now, but
yeah, I mean, look, Bronny was in garbage time in 2 of the games, Chicago, and I don't even remember him in that game. That was after we turned it off. I'll tell you that. And then Spurs. He didn't play against Denver. I don't think he didn't play in the other Spurs game. And then against the Bucks, he had 17 points on 7 of 10 with 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Like, that's kind of insanity. I understand he got a lot of minutes to work with that game. He literally had 30 minutes. But that's kind of insanity. Like, before the year, and I was at Summer League. Again, I was at Summer League. Like, he looked pretty bad, I would say. Definitely on the bad side. Like, he kind of got it together at the end. But he didn't seem like someone who could score over 10 points in an NBA game. But his trajectory, his career trajectory is like very quietly turned around this year because of his excellence, frankly, excellence in the G League. And then it's like Bronny's 17 points. Even if that happened this year, like you were told that, you'd be like, well, he was like 7 of 20. But he was actually 7 of 10, plus the assists and rebounds. So it's like, I would say, me personally would say injured or limited minutes. Because for me, 1 game out of 5, that's why I would do that. But to spice it up a bit, it's also like B would be fair for the game he played. The game he played is A or A plus for Bronny. But he only played 1 game, really, out of 5.
Yeah, for me, like, okay, man, I agree with that so much, bro. It's so hard. Okay, look, this is what I'll say about Bronny too. Like, y'all don't understand the quality of buckets he was getting. It wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna just take this open shot. He was attacking. He attacked Giannis. He hit a floater, straight down the baseline. Boom. He goes from the corner on the wing, left wing, takes it, attacks, drives, beats the defender. Somebody steps up, throws the floater up again. He had 1 screen, like someone said a screen, 1 dribble, 3 on the right wing. Like, he was taking like pro shots. It's not like he was just catch and shoot. He was creating buckets. And then that 1 outlet pass to Markieff Morris. Like, if you can one get the ball to Markieff Morris on a fast break and let him catch that ball, like throw a pass only where he can get it and make Markieff Morris look good. Like, dare I say, like, I made a joke about it. They had a little duo going. Like, everything was running through Bronny and Morris. And the offense didn't look bad. It's just when you wake up, you realize you're playing the starting lineup for the Bucks minus Dame. So for me, like, man, it's like I almost wish he got to play more like this week just in general. Because I think he played fantastic, man. That game, like Jake said, like, it speaks that he's capable of being a pro. Like, obviously, I think he's the most, like, I know this turns into a Bronny thing, but it's whatever. It's our podcast. Bronny has been the most criticized 55th pick we've ever seen in the history of the game. And I think that's absolutely fair to say. And the fact that he's averaging 20 plus points per game in the G League, he comes up in every, like, even progression, like Jake said, from Summer League, he didn't look that great. We talked about it when he had garbage time in games. He was nervous. He didn't want the ball. He ran away from the ball. Didn't want to be in control of possessions. He was airballing. He was bricking, taking bad shots. I mean, well, look, every single time after he's gotten a little bit better. Okay, wow, Bronny got to stop here. He played okay defense. Cool. Now it's like, okay, Bronny, he's hitting threes. He's getting to the paint. People said he wasn't a good shooter. He's hitting threes. People say he can't finish on people. Dare I say, I don't even have to say dare I say, y'all can agree with me on stage. He beat Giannis on a drive, but he got a foul, no call. Like, he got past Giannis, hit him with the little oop-de-doop, little move, got to the paint on Giannis. Like, that's like, as far as defense, that's not easy to do. So I know that was long-winded, kind of a little rant. All this to say, I wish he got a chance to play more games this week. I think if we're gonna start implementing that standard of how many games played, I guess it should be around 2. So I'm cool with putting him in limited, but I just want people to know, like, he played great, and I'm proud of Bronny for this week.
I think I put top of limit tier. Like, should we throw in a Bronny tier? Do you think? What are your thoughts on that? a Bronny tier.
Yeah, that's fine. Either limited or Bronny. Like, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Chris too. It's like, not that we were gonna give him an A, Chris, because we weren't, but they did lose by like whatever it was. Also, this is kind of funny from StatMuse, who I think hates the Lakers and LeBron, but they said most points by a player named LeBron James in the past week. 17, LeBron James Jr. 17, LeBron James Sr. Like they literally tied because Bron only played one game. He dropped the same as Bronny.
Nah, and to be fair, Chris, I mean, I'm not gonna make any excuses. That's not what I'm here for. But I mean, that game was way worse than the Chicago game. Like that Bucks game, it was literally the Bucks versus Bronny. Like literally, he was our best scorer. Like it literally came up at half. He was the only one at double figures, which was crazy.
Yeah, I don't think the loss there is bad to me.
So if we're putting Bronny in a Bronny tier, where would he belong? Maybe middle tier.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm
Bronny,
cool.
kind of.
Hey, I mean, look, Bronny tier. It doesn't affect the Lucas stands on Twitter who might cook. I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
I think it's Earl next.
Oh, my bad. Okay. I'm gonna go with a speed round. DFS D. Okay, real talk. It sounds crazy, but I don't know, bro. We can argue it. D, C. Nothing higher than a C for me this week for DFS. I don't care how good his defense was. He had one
What are
good
you talking
game.
about, C, Earl?
No, I'm just saying if anybody wants to argue it, I'm
fair.
D tier. I don't know. I just think he's playing way below his standards. Literally.
He did get 15 versus the Spurs and 14 versus Denver, and also like I said missed Milwaukee and had 2 versus the Bulls. So, and if we're counting the Suns game, he scored 10 in that game. So he did play bad, but for this week he did play good. I think there's an argument for maybe C.
What was he last week?
Last week,
See, now it looks like I'm just hating.
I think he had his own tier for DFS. Oh no, he did have his own tier. He had the buck naked tier.
Okay, well, looking at the stats, maybe I was a little bit emotional because I'm watching the game, like eye test. He just does not look like himself, bro. I'm sorry. But I mean the stats, they're good, like for a role player, but defensively, he just hasn't been himself, bro. I'm sorry. And consistently, I guess if we're keeping it by this week, I don't know. How do y'all feel? Maybe I'm more lenient to go up to C.
Nah, I'll go D. Eye test is telling me D, bro. If not the lowest, then D.
I think it's back
it's
to you now,
my
Jay.
turn?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm gonna go JJ Redick, B. Still think he's a good coach. He didn't do anything.
I agree. I think some of those games, obviously, we're missing personnel.
Yeah.
Really, the reason he's B is because of that Bulls game, and I think we talked about not being prepared. So,
yeah, the Bulls game puts him at B. I'll just keep it simple. You know, normally we have him at A, maybe B, maybe S. I don't know. Playoff Hayes Muse in the chat with the Earl PFP. That's tough, bro. I like your post about Playoff Sports Network. Playoff Hayes Muse, thank you. I'm making a playoff sports tournament right now, March Madness style. I'm putting us all in. It's going to be like Muse Madness. We'll do a bigger one next year when we're huge. Next year will be huge, I promise. But for now, I'm going to put all of us in it. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I was right. You know, lower than Luka, for sure lower than Luka this week. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, next one I'll go with Jordan Goodwin. I think C.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think Goodwin is going to be Goodwin. Like, unless he gets like another week where he has like a 15, 18 plus point game, then he'll see an increase. But I think he's good. C is cool. I think I will go with oh dang. Let's just go ahead and get Vando out the way. Let's go ahead and put the twins together, bro. The what's the anti-terror twins? Because they're literally the worst version of that. So they can chill together. Not gonna lie. The Buck Naked Brothers. Yeah, you can put them together. I'm voting D, whatever. For Vando. Back to you, Jake.
Austin Reeves, A. He had like 25, 22, 28, 30, something like that. I probably read that wrong. Coming back from injury first, what was it? Wasn't it like the first 1 or 2 games he sucked? Maybe it was the first game. Then he had a really good week, quietly good week, I feel like, right? Like, I feel like he's A, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't really see it this week because it was kind of quiet and it got lost and stuff. But yeah, it was one of his better weeks of the year. I don't think it was his best week of the year, Chris, because he had a week putting up like pretty much 30-point triple doubles for a whole week for us. And I think Reeves has the potential to be S tier if he's doing that. I'm going to say A.
We got a comment from Playoff Hayes Muse. He said Luca B. Feel free to explain why you have it in B, guys.
First I'll say, like, to add to Jake's point, like, last 5 games, Austin Reeves is averaging 28.4 points, 7.6 assists, and 5.2 rebounds. So he's playing absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can say a 3-point shooting split. He's shooting 38% from 3 during the stretch, and 3 of those games he's shooting above 40%. One of those games he's shooting 38.5, and the one outlier game he shot 28%. So he's playing absolutely amazing basketball. So he deserves that. Luca at B. Okay, this is why we're comparing Luca to himself. Like, Luca, there's one game where he just played a really good first half, and then the second half he just could not hit any shots. And it wasn't because he wasn't getting the ball. It was literally because he wasn't hitting anything. Another game he played, he had a whole bunch of free throws. Like, yeah, he had like 30-something plus, but maybe that was the same game where he's inefficient in those free throws. But to our point, Luca compared to Luca is a B this week. And that's pretty much what it is. But I think it's your turn, Allan, right?
Yeah. I'll go with Jackson Hayes. I got him at a B, and then you could probably put him below JJ, but I don't know. I think either way, he's either above JJ or below JJ.
I'm cool with that. Jackson Hayes, to me, I think, hot take, I don't think Jackson Hayes is anything below a B for the rest of these last 12 games. I think he's just vital to this team, and especially when Luka plays, he's always going to be involved around the offense. And his defense has been pretty decent recently. So I think that's going to be his new floor. But okay, I guess it's my turn, huh? The Three Stooges. Which one do I want first? Give me Mr. Lynn. Alex Lynn. Where do I begin? Because of you, we lost a couple wins. Dang, I'm not gonna lie. He's C. No. I'm sorry, bro. I can't ever put Alex Lynn in C. I don't care that he made a 3. I don't care that he got 2 rebounds. I don't care anything about that. He's in D tier. Alex Lynn is in D tier, bro. I'm sorry. No. D tier, bro. If DFS is in D tier with 15 points, 13, whatever, Alex Lynn is the bottom of D easily. It's up to you, Jake, now.
Yeah, sorry. Man, I would have to look at the stats for both of these guys, so let me look that up now. Okay, Dalton Connect was good, low key. Like when you look back at it, like Bulls 7 minutes, it might have even been garbage time. So he was 2 of 3 from 3, but only 7 minutes. When he got minutes, he was pretty good. I was disappointed against the Bucks when it was supposed to be Dalton Connect first option hoops. Like he took 14 shots and he was 3 of 6 from 3, but he only had 17 points. He also had 32, but that was last week against the Nuggets when we were underman. Not this Nuggets game, the last one. I'm going to say Bronny tier. Can I say that, or is that a cop-out? Either that or C, whatever you guys think.
Honestly, man, you know what? I'm playing a little advocate here. I'm going to go C tier. I mean, looking at the games, his best game this week was 17 points. I mean, that's tied for Bronny, but like everything after that, like 12, 13 on 4 of 10 shooting, 5 of 14 shooting versus the Bucks, very disappointing to me. That Bucks game really had me disappointed. Like, not to be too harsh on him, but it's just the fact that that was our chance to see him like first option hoops, basically. And he got pretty much every shot till they stopped playing him, but he was horrible. So I'm going to go C.
I think C tier. I think arguably for Bronny's game was an amazing game. Like arguably, maybe even better than DK's consistent games because Bronny is just Bronny. He's that guy. So yeah, Gabe Vincent. We'll go with C. I think below C, below maybe actually no. Like I don't know. I think it's a toss up. I think it's sort of a tie between him and Jordan Goodwin and how they play. Like
I
they
think
are
Goodwin
there.
did his role better this week, honestly, even just compared to themselves. I think like your initial thought of like Gabe low C, like I'm probably with that.
I agree. Yeah, I'm looking at the stats. I mean, like he's okay. Like he's out there. Like he's running around. I'm sure he's doing something. But looking at minutes, like averaging around like 24 minutes a game, 9.4 points, 1.6 rebounds, 1.4 assists. And the eye test, I feel like his defense has been a little bit lacking the last couple of games too. So I'll go behind Goodwin. Because like people gotta understand this too. Like Gabe Vincent is our MLE, bro. And I could probably say I've seen more memorable Jordan Goodwin moments this week than Gabe at times. And that's kind of a problem when we're paying you that much money.
Is it below Jordan Goodwin or is it above Jordan Goodwin? Sorry, I cut out right there.
I'll go below. Yeah, personally. And it's my fault for Jinx and Don't Connect. That was on me. I was like, oh, he's going to have 40 tonight. Had the worst stinker we've seen.
Yeah, that's the tier list for this week. It's Austin Reeves at A, Luka Doncic at B, with JJ and Jackson. Bronny tier. C is Dalton Connect, Jordan Goodwin, Gabe Vincent. D is DFS. Vando and Alex Len. Injured or limited minutes is LeBron, Rui, Maxi, Markeith, Cam, Shake, South Bay Lakers, Trey, and Christian. And as always, let me just say our final goodbyes. This is the Quest for a Team podcast. Make sure to follow and check out the Playoff Sports Network website that is launched right there. Follow us on Twitter. Right here. I'll post it. And then check us out on TikTok right here. I might be coming up with some new stuff from tonight's podcast, my edit right there, and yeah, that might be
Wait,
on
Allan, are you
PlayoffLAL.
typing something right now?
Oh yeah,
Put something in the chat.
Yeah, no, I put it on the thing for the website and the TikTok and X. So yeah,
I was about to say, like, weirdly, I don't know
Yes,
why, I don't know
sir.
how long it's been, but I can't see Allan's messages now for some reason. Like, I thought I was just going crazy.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure that out. But yeah,
overall, like I said, follow and check out the Playoff Sports Network website that's newly and launched. Check out that. Check out the Creators Podcast. We're on there, and also if you're an intern that is interested in joining the Lease Network, feel free to join there. And like I said, everything is the shop as well. Buy everything that you are interested in. Come out some new graphics probably later, and especially in the future. Like I said, check us out on X and also follow us on TikTok. I'll try to come up with some edits and everything going on. I think Jake can close it out with talk about subscriptions and also I believe spaces and etc. Feel free to close it out right there, Jake.
Yeah, so obviously there's another Laker game tomorrow. We'll be back. We're playing the Magic early. At least early for us West Coast people. It's at 4:30 our time. So it's either 7 or 7:30 Eastern. We're going to be on Spaces 30 minutes before that. Spaces were fun yesterday, pre and post game, a ton of fun. Look forward to seeing y'all there. Thank you, King Shafino, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Playoff Haze Muse, as always. Allan and Earl did an incredible show. Mark, thank you for everything. Of course, Chris, thank you. Congrats on being the first intern. Who else was in here? Whoever else was in here. I know a lot of the usual people who don't talk as much. Thank you guys, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Excited to keep doing stuff over here. And if you're still in here, stay tuned because in a second, I'll go on Twitter. I'll send it to people. I'm going to do a little tournament, and it's going to be kind of a playoff sports network tournament of a lot of the creators and some of the people who are subscribers or people in the chat. Hopefully I didn't forget too many people. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be a ton of fun. Next year, we'll do a bigger one when we're big, just like how Stat Muse did it. I do really like that idea, especially with March Madness. Appreciate you guys. I'll see a lot of you guys tomorrow. If not, we'll see you on the next Quest for 18 next Sunday at 2:30 Pacific time, 5:30 Eastern.
sounds good. See y'all later.